Some massive moves in the market today. Nvidia down 4%. We spoke about this yesterday about earnings. And just some very, very interesting moves in the market right now. That we are seeing some big sell-offs. So another great trading day for me personally. Not on the GoChamp account. I'll try to buy it off the bottom there and got smoked on the competition account, but on my funded and personal accounts going along really, really nicely. And another green day in the books. It's been a pretty solid month, I must say, of trading my side. And I'll always take it just one day at a time. But I'm down on this competition account. As I said, I've been trying to swing hard on this, and I tried some Bitcoin longs and then some other positions too. But didn't work out on that account there. But going along pretty nicely. If we have a look at my year to date, going along really, really nicely in terms of my trading wise. January was pretty solid, and then again, just a very, very nice February, stacking up the green days. I didn't trade at all last week because I was on the road. But been a solid month, and we'll go over some more stats today too. Just making sure that it's all working. Perfect. Cool. So as I said, make sure to go check out the competition with GoChamp. They are running some nice prizes as well to be won. So go check it out. I'll put the link in the chat too. Okay, let's copy that. And then, go follow me on social media as well. We're going to be doing these live streams every single day at 12 Eastern time. Perfect. Okay, brilliant. Cool. So South Africa did win the cricket today against the West Indies, so that's obviously always good. But we're going to be watching here. I think there was a nice little trade there off the New York session VIAP. So a lot of guys were asking me, what does my best trade look like? And I took a nice little short here on the YM. So NASDAQ and ES were kind of falling off. And I got a retest on the lower time frames of this New York session VWAP today. So what we did get was a clear, move to the highs, and then ES and NQ were tanking off. And I got a pull, a flush down, a pull back towards that New York session VWAP, and that's where I got short. I ended up getting out at the previous day's highs. I found that was a nice level to be taking off. So over 100 points in YM, but this thing ends up tanking from my actual entry, like 400 points. So, obviously, you're never going to catch all of the move. That's something that you guys, that I've always had to realize in my trading. You're never going to catch the whole move. So, a nice little trade there today to kickstart. But let's see what's actually happening on NQ and ES as well. We can actually see NQ just obviously tanking off too, and then probably caused as well from this NVIDIA. Well, NVIDIA earnings was yesterday. They actually beat earnings, but, trading down 4% on the day is obviously not great. Anyone in the chat got any thoughts or questions? As I said, we're going to be doing these live streams every single day. I might just scalp a couple of points here. Let's see if we can get some longs here. Let's go to the NASDAQ. Let's see if we can scalp a couple of points here to the high side. I'm trying to send it, be more to the max. Okay, so I've actually hit my max daily loss on this trading the Bitcoin. So I actually can't trade on this account. And that's one of the rules. You can't on this competition account. You actually can't trade once your max daily loss has been hit. But that's fine. So we can actually see NVIDIA. I'll see if I can take any other trades on my other accounts. But right now, NVIDIA trading lower, coming off low of day. Low of day was set in at 184, okay, 71. We can actually see again, like very, very similar to what the NASDAQ is doing. We had a flush down, pull back, and kind of like a retest off that New York session VWAP. You could have probably scalped some shorts on the NASDAQ here off of these highs. As I explained, like my base setups actually are break and retest of that opening range. So we can actually see I use the 15-minute opening range. So we got the 15-minute opening range high, the 15-minute opening range low. We got a pullback to that New York session VWAP. That's where you would want to be looking for shorts. What's up, Frank? Good to have you on. How's your trading week been so far, Frank? But yeah, we can see again from, if I go to my reports from my stats here to date, obviously it's been really, really nice and green. But Yeah, it's just taking one good trade at a time, right? And I think that's been something that I've been trying to focus on. So it looks like my my live streams are actually posting. It's posts on Twitter right now. So that's obviously good. Yeah, Frank, how's your week been? So we can actually look at this. So let's go to symbols again. Like my best symbol is probably the Nasdaq. We looked at that yesterday, and then the Dow, and then the DAX has also been pretty good for me as well. Yes, I actually haven't been trading too particularly well. It's the only one that's actually down on my list, besides one or two trades on Bitcoin and the Nikkei. And then if you look at it by day and time, so trade time as well, we can see that my best hour is coming the first hour of market open. Market open currently is at 4:30 p.m. South African time. My best time to trade is that first hour. Good so far. Just have to make sure I'm patient. Yeah, of course, Frank. Like, yeah, that's obviously, you know, there's always going to be work-ons as traders. But if we go to this this competition as well, I'm trying to just be quite aggressive in it, because obviously oaks are up like literally guys are up like a couple $1,000. So I'm just trying to push here. So guys are up cheap as how the hell are they up one? That's insane. Wow. Okay. So oaks are really sending it on this account, clearly. So yeah, I'm just trying to be more aggressive. Ethereum, we can definitely have a look at Ethereum. So let's go like this. Can you actually trade Ethereum with them? I'm not too sure if you can on the competition based account, but we can go to Bitcoin and Ethereum as well and have a look at the charts on that. From a daily time frame perspective, we're obviously trading well outside the EMAs. We are kind of like a support on the daily time frame, but trading well underneath the 21 EMA and outside of the 8 EMA as well. Yeah, only CME micro futures. Yeah, so you can't trade Ethereum with that. You can trade Bitcoin, however, on the GoChamp competition accounts. And that's what's actually been smoking me, is actually trading Bitcoin on them. The macros on Bitcoin are pretty aggressive. So yeah. But yeah, otherwise from my trading perspective, this month has been really, really solid. Obviously, that account's as a free competition account that I'm just trying to be aggressive on, because you can win prizes. So it is in beta phase, obviously, at the moment. But yeah, solid January, and then a solid February that I'm stringing together. Last day of February actually is trading tomorrow. So last day of the month tomorrow. The Nifty, I don't think you can trade the Nifty on that account. I personally don't look at the Nifty. My side, but yeah. Perfect. So as I said, I'm live on here with GoChamp every single day, 12 p.m. Eastern time, right? My trade is active in the sell side. Are you going to execute a trade? I would like to execute a trade. I'm done on this account though for the day. I've been locked out on the competition account, but maybe on my main accounts, I will be looking to take a trade. If you don't mind, can you talk about your A+ trade? Yeah, for sure. So my A+ trade, okay, let's go to, as I said, I mainly trade ES, NQ, or YM. My A+ trade is the break and retest of that opening range. So we got that today on YM. We get a flush up to the highs. ES and NQ are coming down. I get a break of that opening range, a pullback, and I'm looking to take it short off of that New York Session View app. You could also look at this like this. From a larger perspective, we get a break of the opening range, a pullback, and then that would be my entry like this. Obviously, I already made money short already, and then I had to get off the desk to be with family. But yeah, that would be kind of like my A+ setup, and that moves pretty nasty for you. I think I kind of missed out on that move, so I definitely need to journal that up. No, there's competition about CME. Yeah, so it's just CME futures. You can't trade the Nifty, right? What's up, Eddie? So I'm trading mainly US stock indexes, right? Yes, NQ, YM. That's what I'm really looking at to trade my side. The range is the first 50 minutes. So that opening range is the first 50 minutes, high and low. And as I said, it's been a pretty solid month for me so far. I'm up 4K. Not as good as last month, but as I said from my previous streams, I've been on the road traveling, so I will definitely take this on a day that I have been, or on month that I have been away from the desk and not able to be, in my zone focus as I would like to. Yeah, good questions, Eddie. What do you mainly trade? I hope that from the guy that was asking the what my base setup looks, I hope that makes sense. Let me know. So I like using the opening range and VWAP, right? That's what. Do you like the YM? I do like the YM. I think the YM moves very, very nicely. Yes, I do like the YM for sure. 100%. What are you trading mainly, Frank? Your side. What are you trading mainly your side? Yeah. As I said, I think from a perspective of like I'll trade any index that is in play. So if YM is in play, like ES and NQ already flushing, and I'll give you a reason why I actually shorted YM today and not ES and NQ. So I found ES and NQ were actually moving already before I managed to kind of find an entry over here. They kind of just held outside that VWAP, whereas YM moved higher on the open and then gave me a nice short entry. It came higher and then back down and then gave me a retest off of that VWAP. So if I drop down to like a 1 minute time frame as well, okay, what we can see is we get a move higher under the VWAP and then we move off of that VWAP. See how we don't break back above it, and that gave me confluence that we could potentially see lower. Yeah, Eddie is trading many NQ and ES. Nice. You can see that NQ is my best traded asset. If I go to my reports, and this is year-to-date stats, we can actually see my symbols. You can actually see that the NASDAQ is my best performing asset. US 100 is the NASDAQ, right? So that is what's treating me well. So that on my chart, those aren't EMAs, those are VWAPs. Okay, so you can check at the daily VWAP, start of day VWAP, and then this is the start of the New York session VWAP. Okay, so that's what I use to trade, and you can actually probably get them in here too. So let's go like this. Still getting used to this platform for the competition, but let's have a look over here. Drawing tools, yeah. So I mean, I use the start of day VWAP and the New York session VWAP. So they aren't actually EMAs. You guys got that? So I'm actually locked out of this account for today. I'm trying to be aggressive on it. It is a competition account, so free with upside potential. As I said, go check them out. They're going to be hosting competitions every single week, and yeah, I think it's great, especially for new traders. As I said, so go check them out for sure. So you can actually see the YM has actually been pretty good to me as well. I've actually got 84% win rate year to date on the YM, 92% on the NASDAQ. US 500 is the one that's actually killing me, down in the 70s. I don't go for high risk reward ratio on my trades personally. Yeah, the competition's free. So yeah, I use the opening range and VWAP, correct. Obviously, I use price action structure with levels and stuff like that. I've always spoken about this on my streams. The 4 levels that I look at every single day is pre-market highs and lows and previous days highs and lows. Yeah, that competition is free. So go check it out. The competition with GoChamp is free, and you can obviously have upside potential as well. So It is nice, especially for new traders that want to get into the space. So go check it out. Yeah, of course. Perfect, Frank. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's get back to the charts here. We obviously, I think buying it at this level can be very, very tricky on YM or even ES. The DAX index is actually trading higher today so far. So it's obviously an interesting one with the DAX being up. Normally, sometimes the DAX does lead American markets, but obviously NVIDIA causing them to kind of tank off quite aggressively. Yeah, Frank. Any what's been something that's been working for you guys in your trading recently? What's something that you're doing well? What's something that you're struggling with? Do you have your YouTube channel? I do have a YouTube channel. I'll put it in the chat here. You guys can go check it out. Everything that you need to know me about me is all over here. There you go. Yeah, the only Mag 7 stock that is actually up today is Meta. Interestingly enough. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, Meta, the only stock that on the Mag 7 that is actually up, and we're actually still trading it with inside that opening range, the first 50 minutes opening range. AMD down, Robinhood up, SMCR down 6%. Worked a lot with FEG, but trying to learn via or maybe volume profile. Nice, Eddie. Yeah, I know some guys that use volume profile. I think just the more simple that you keep your trading, the better. Right? I don't know if trying to overcomplicate my trading. That's for sure. I try and keep it as simple as possible, and clearly it works, right? So yeah, I'm gonna see. I got one more day. I didn't trade at all last week due to being off the desk, but I have. We have one more day left this month, so just trying to end strong. Bitcoin is trading just under 67K right now, off all-time highs. Bitcoin is currently, we haven't been back at this level since like November last year. That was when Trump won the elections, and we just absolutely skyrocketed. So we are currently sitting at Bitcoin. We are 90% of all-time highs. Jeez. Wow. Yeah, this is pretty crazy, I must say. Pretty crazy chart, this. Bitcoin really didn't do much until like 2017, and then it started to take off, get to 18K. I mean, that was a pretty big move. 1000%. Wow. Obviously, it's become so big in the last couple of years. What time do you trade mostly? EST. I mainly trade from 9:30 until like the daily close. If I've seen anything happening until the rest of the day, I will look to take trades. So, but most of my trading is done between 9 and I would say like 2 p.m. Eastern time. I don't really trade the last 2 hours of the New York stock market open. So I got some pals coming with some prop firms. Obviously, I still trade my own personal cash accounts as well. So and then obviously, if you guys want to come check out the competition with GoChamp, you guys can obviously also see some upside potential there with the top finishers getting prizes. Cool. So ES at the moment, like, I think if you were in that short of the New York session VWAP over there, I think that is a pretty nice position. You'll probably still want to be holding it. You know, you could have like a entry like that, maybe playing the bounce off there, and you could have like a stop just above the daily VWAP. If it comes up above there, you wouldn't want it, and maybe you'll be targeting these lows back down. They give you over 2-1 with that type of trade. I think it bounces very, very nicely. Look how we are trending, obviously down and below the VWAPs. Okay, so that's you guys kind of want to be or at least for me, want to be trading in line with those session VWAPs as much as possible. I think the in-trend trades are a lot easier to take than counter-trend trades, and that's why I prefer using those VWAPs. Just give me alignment to see what we actually are doing. Yeah, so that as I said, I mainly trade the first 4 hours of market open, 5 hours of market open, then I'm really not really looking to trade much after that. NQ now still trading underneath 25k. So from a larger time frame perspective, let's have a look at this hourly. We're actually still up on the week. We opened the week up at 20, kind of where we're sitting at right now. So we've had 1, 2, 3 days of rise, and now we're back towards that weekly VWAP. Start of week VWAP. So what you can do is you can just put a VWAP to the start of the week. And as you can see, we're trading at that right at this minute. So we could potentially form a support area here from a higher time frame perspective. But intraday right now, I would not be looking for longs. We clearly are, stocks are falling off. Every single Mag 7 now red. Meta just flipped red. We'll see if we can catch anything here on stream. But as I said, yeah, we'll have to see. Any other questions in the chat, guys? Eddie, Frank, how you guys are you guys looking at anything right now? So we actually cleared last week's highs. This is the NASDAQ. Last week's highs is back up at this level. Last week's lows all the way back down at 24,453. So we have bounced off previous week's lows, that's for sure, which was on last week, Tuesday. So we kind of still are making higher lows up in this channel. So it'll be interesting to see how we move here heading into tomorrow as well. 15-minute chart on the bottom left, hourly as well. Let's go like this. Let's put that on the hourly. Okay, like that. And we've got the 50-minute and then the daily, obviously. Okay. How many ticks do you trade usually on NQ? I don't look at ticks. I look at points mainly. And stop losses could be between 50 and 100 points. And I'm looking to target, mainly 1 R on my day trades. If I'm taking a swing trade, it might be a little bit more, like 3-4 R. But from day trading perspective, my stop loss placements are usually between 50 and 100 points. It depends on the volume and volatility in the market as well. You get a thing called ADR, which if ADR is a lot more aggressive, you don't want wider stops, right? So let's look at this. I'll show you the ADR tool, how this can increase. So right now, average daily range on the NASDAQ is 163 points. But last week, it probably was a lot less. We were moving a lot less last week. Let's have a look here. Okay, that only goes 5 days back. Let's change that setting and make it. Let's put style. Where is that? Let's put the last. Let's go like this. Let's just go last 20 days. See if that gives me the last. No. Let's undo that. I think it is in the settings. Yeah, ADR display limit. Yeah, let's go last 20 days. There you go. So 179, 224. So things were moving here. So the more the ADR is showing, the more tight you want to be in terms of your risk management, right? So let's go back quite some more as well. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Look back the last 40 days. Okay, so you can see 251, 209, here we go, 193, 181, so 141, 163. So when ADR is a lot less, price is not moving on an average daily range compared to where we are moving at the moment, 163, probably that will definitely increase. But this is only from the last 5 trading days, right? So it's taking the average from the last 5 trading days, as you can see, ADR length parameter. Cool. Any questions? As I'm learning VWAP to use an anchored VWAP at the 9:30 opening candle. Good question, Eddie. Yes. So this is on the 50-minute time frame, but let's drop down to 1 to actually visualize that for you. So I'm using the daily VWAP, which is this changeover of day VWAP, okay, which is the black one. And then I also am using a start of session VWAP, which is that anchored to the 9:30 open, correct. And if you're trading the DAX in the London session, which is also, you can trade on the Eurex market, it is anchored to, you would anchor it to the start of the 10 a.m. candle South African time, which Eastern time would be 3 a.m. Eastern time. And that would give you a session VWAP from the start of the session. So for example, today we had some guys in my group that caught the longs on the DAX because we're trading above VWAP, above daily, above the session VWAP, and you'll be looking for longs, right? So yes, good question. That does that make sense? Oh, what's up? Cool. So we'll go back to ES. As I said, I think right now, we've moved pretty aggressively. Look how we've now taken out the previous day's lows. So definitely, as I said, I mentioned those 4 levels that I look at: previous day's highs and lows, and pre-market highs and lows. Yeah, what's up, Roulette? Great info. Thank you. Yeah, 100%. Any other questions, Eddie? I think it's good that, I'm always trying to learn. I've been doing this for 9 years and I'm always learning every single day. If you stop learning, I think you can definitely hit a little bit of a brick wall. If you just, markets are forever changing and we have to change with market conditions, right? That's just what it is. So I could definitely see us bottoming out here. I'm personally not going to take the longs on that competition account. I'm done for the day. I hit my max daily loss on that. But even on my main accounts that I'm using, my funded and personal, there's no reason for me to be aggressive now. I'm up on the day. Actually, at my biggest day this week, I had 3 days all in the 500s. Now I've got 668. So, yeah. What's up, Mark? Yeah, please ask your questions. Good stuff. How's it, bro? How's the stream been so far? Good, bro. Good. How you keeping, Mark? I know we're supposed to get on a call. I've just been away off the desk, bro. So, yeah, we can definitely get on a call maybe next week. So I do these streams every single day with GoChamp. Go check out their website for those free competitions. As I said, sponsored by the CME Group. So yeah, go check them out. And yeah, not in any trades at the minute though. But how's your week been so far? $50 points. How many dollar risk on NQ? How many lots do you use? So for futures, you would have to calculate depending on your position size. You can do it automatically. You'd have to find out what position size suits you. But you can I think you guys use ChatGPT. So if I want to risk $200 on the $200 on the MNQ with a 50-point stop, what size should I use? Okay, and that would give you, you would have to use 3 contracts. Okay, so 3 contracts. should use, sorry, 2 contracts with a 50-point stop on if you want to risk $200. Now, obviously, the more risk you have, the more you would have to adapt. No stress, bro. Yeah, been all right. Hey, just been trying to get right mentally this week with the charts. Yeah, bro. It's you know, you got to take one day at a time. Find out what you're doing well, what you're doing badly, and make adjustments. You're not going to be on your game all the time, that's for sure. You're not going to be on your game all the time, that's for sure. So, you know, you got to take the good with the bad, unfortunately, sometimes. Yeah. 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 So on with Go charts and Go Champs competition, you only get macros, right? That's obviously needs to be said. You only get MES and MNQ. There's no minis, only macros, right? Yeah, nice. Been getting back into your golf. That's good, bro. Yeah, sometimes you just have to take a little bit of a breather if you're not seeing the markets right. That's for sure. Hmm. You do definitely have to, yeah, to get your mind in the game. You definitely have to have some time off the desk. That is for sure, right? Right. See, we bottoming out here on ES at the moment. That's why, as I said, like I just think if you know if it's if you are trying to short at this level, it's not a great area to be shorting at. That's sometimes you get some nice afternoon moves. Working to get to scratch. Nice, bro. How long you been playing? What you playing off at the moment? Golf is very similar to trading, I must say. Like, you can be having like I've been playing some good golf lately, and then all of a sudden, just you can have 1 or 2 rounds where it just messes you up. As I said, that account with Go Champ is a competition account, so being aggressive on that. So I'm down on that from the 5K starting balance. Been trying to mess around with a bit of Bitcoin, and yeah, but my main accounts that I trade are going along pretty nicely. That's for sure. Having a good month, bro. And you'll take the good when they come. That's 100% for sure. See how every single time buy a step in, we're just sweeping back lower. Trading underneath that VWAP. I'm shooting better. The last 3 rounds on being PB is nice. On about a 50 now. That's solid, bro. Good work. Where you playing most of your golf? Some nice courses up there, that's for sure, where you live, bro. 100%. So ES and NQ, as I said, I'm kind of, I should have maybe waited until getting onto stream to trade that account with you guys, but I would have liked to take a short, yeah. Unfortunately, not to be. Try to be aggressive on the account at the open, didn't work. It is a free account anyway with competition base. So, and then there is also that learning, right? So you get the learning center as well with them. If you take that account, you also do get the free learning center where you can check out the courses and everything like that. Okay, so let's get that up like there. There we go. Opportunity playing a River Club. Hey, that's nice, bro. It's a very nice club. Yeah, I got invited there last year, but I couldn't make it. But yeah, that is a nice course. Very, very nice course. Cool. So you can get the with the Go Champs competition, you can check out these courses as well, right? So still coming low on the Nasdaq. Well, I'm trying to hold up pre-market into the open. As I said, we got the pump higher before the sell-off. As I said, that's where I shorted, and I've seen this so many times on the net on YM, where we move up at the open and then we end up falling away. Where was it on? So you guys know I took my longs yesterday on YM. I went over that on the stream here yesterday, and then but look at this on there we go on Monday. Look how we get the pump up, and then literally straight back down on the open. So it does happen with YM quite often where we get that, right? Cool. Any other questions in the chat? Make sure to put it through. Yeah, right now Marcus is bleeding at the moment. Okay, we've got 2 Mag 7 stocks that have flipped green now. I'm sorry, Microsoft and Meta. But so I don't think the day to be picking the lows, at least for now. It's going to be an interesting Friday. Sometimes we do get those big moves on Friday for as well. So I can say also from my own experience is that we, just taking it slow and steady, potentially, Mark, when you like not seeing the markets as great as you would like. Just something interesting here on YM, we actually are trading still near. We're trading above the weekly VWAP, but we obviously had that massive sell-off on Monday on YM compared to ES and NQ. Did recover a little bit, but we're actually trading closer to previous week's highs on ES. Here's previous week's highs. Okay, here's previous week's highs on ES and NQ as well. So we are trading. We're trading more relatively closer to the previous week's highs. It's that green line coming across the screen. Okay, but YM we're trading quite far from that. See how we actually didn't breach it this week so far. Take for us one trade. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm done on that competition account for the day. So unfortunately, I can't trade on that, but I can look to see if I can take a trade for you guys. But I'm not going to take it on my main accounts. I'm already green on those accounts for the day. So yeah, I mean, if that account was still active for the day, I would definitely look to take that a trade for you guys. But I've shown you how to execute on that platform yesterday. Should probably just wait until trading that on stream for you guys to actually show you how to execute on the competition-based accounts. But basically, you'll have your for this competition-based account with GoChamp, you'll have on the right-hand side. You can trade up to 2 macros. I don't know how those guys get that profit with that type of size, but anyway, it is still in beta phase, so you got the upside potential of winning prizes, and then you just hit buy sell on the right-hand side. Yeah, that's how basically it works. But as I said, I'm green on the day so far. I could definitely maybe potentially look at a trade. I mean, you could probably short the Nasdaq like this. Okay, stop above the high like that, and you could look to target the lows. That's a potential trade that if I did have on an account to trade at the moment, I would definitely look at taking. As I said, it is quite far from the VWAPs right now. Okay, so yeah, this is a 5-minute chart on NQ. So interesting to see, as I said, about that weekly view being quite far from the open. And then in terms of my screener with Edgefill, everything was actually pointing red. Okay, everything was actually pointing red to the downside. The only stock on the Mag 7 that was actually bullish in the first hour was Meta itself, which I did mention earlier. Meta and Microsoft flipped green on the day. The only two that on the Mag 7 that actually was trading as as positive on the day. Any other questions in the chat right now, guys? As I said, like if I still had that account, I would definitely look to take the lows there on that. We just aren't seeing any follow through. Why I'm still trading lower? DAX also actually starting to come down right now too. Been playing it kind of, yeah, nice. Okay. And the ES from the high to low at today has a pretty big range. Almost 100 points almost. Just under. Even that swing from the high to low, that recent swing has been 35 points. So the volatility is definitely back. The VIX is also trading above 20. The VIX is up today, as I said yesterday on stream. If the VIX normally trades higher, stocks and indexes normally come down. Theoretically, and the volatility picks up. Yeah, the Nikkei has actually been, compared to the American markets, the Nikkei actually made a new all-time high yesterday. Wow. Since the start of the year, Nikkei has actually been up 13%. Wonder what's ES doing since the start of the year. ES since the start of the year, we've been in a very, very tight range, I must say. But ES since the start of the year, let's have a look here. There you go, Friday, 2nd of Jan. So we're actually down on the year on ES. ES opened up on the Friday, the 2nd of Jan over here. And we are around about 6,900, and we are trading currently underneath that. The DAX. DAX opened up over here, and we are trading high on the year on the DAX, up 2%. So ES actually is trading lower, as well as the Nasdaq year to date. So it's been a very, very choppy range on the indexes, the American market indexes. Like we've literally been trading, since the start of the year, we've literally been trading inside this range, 200 points on ES. If you want to extend it there down to lows as well. So, I mean, if you're making money in this type of market environment, you're doing pretty good. Where you from? I'm from South Africa. I'm from South Africa, bro. Yeah, nice. Guys having some nice trades. So you guys were asking me about what does my best trade look like. Okay, Austin taking some nice trades here as well. Off of that New York session VWAP and then getting the small win back to the downside. Really, really nice. So that's very similar to what I was just speaking about, where you get a pullback, you get the shove down, pull back to the session VWAP, and you're looking to get short. How you experiencing trading? So I've been trading for 9 years, my side. 9 years I've been trading. Yes, sir. But sharing my content in that. So I've been trading 9 years, but as a full-time income, 6, and then doing content in that probably 4. So yeah. That's me. I started off trading currencies, and then the last 3 years I've been trading indexes and individual stock names. Why are you not using order flow? I just have had experience not trading with it, so I've made money without it, and I think it's just a different style of trading that I've made money without it, so I just haven't used order flow. A lot of traders might use order flow, and that's cool. There's many ways to trade. You got to find what works for you. What's up? Yeah, so that's why. I mean, if you use order flow, I know a lot of traders that do use order flow, and it works for them. I just find what works for me, and using levels and technical analysis and fundamentals as well. This has worked for me. Hi man, I'm also from ASEC, and how can I join your community? Yeah, Nick, go follow all my socials over here, and then you can definitely join me there. Over there, there's all my socials. You can get my X, Instagram, YouTube, my mailing list as well, and then the Discord too. And then if you want to come trade with me live every single day, that is there as well as on my YouTube as well. So make sure you should check that out, Nick. Where you from in South Africa, bro? But yeah, so again, as I said, like it's been a solid month so far. Make sure also before you guys leave, go check out that free competition with GoChamp. You know, there's upside potential there for you guys. You know, you got to obviously swing hard to get in the competition. The Ozarks are crushing it, but yeah, been a pretty solid month for me. Start off the year as well. January was pretty good. I've shown you my stats from my accounts from Jan. Feb as well has been pretty solid. I was actually traveling out with Nick. I was actually in Plet for a wedding, Plettenberg Bay, but I'm from Bolito side, bro. But yeah, been pretty solid as well. A Feb, I wasn't trading all of last week. It's actually been green every single day, so I'll definitely take that. Right. Nice, bro. Cool. So we've got a couple more minutes left here, and we'll take it in our stride. As I said, I think definitely been a solid month. I'm just trying to keep that up. You know, not force anything later on in the day. If I do, I might go trade another account. You know, splits up the risk. But yeah, ES and AQ definitely, you know, falling off quite heavily here today. Cool. Any last questions before we head off in the next 5 or so? Cool, guys. Just in terms of like bias the rest of the day, you know, I wouldn't be looking to try and pick bottoms here. Unless something happens that we start to swing on the NASDAQ and pick up with NVIDIA and Tesla. But, you know, I definitely think that, you know, staying short bias here is probably the way to go. Very interesting here. We are trading back towards a level I was watching on ES back at that 870 level, which was Tuesday. And also we still are trading up on the week, as I mentioned. So it's going to be an interesting Friday. I'll see you guys for the stream tomorrow as well with GoChamp. I might look to save that account, that competition account for tomorrow, so I can take some trades on it on stream, show you how it operates and everything. But yeah, you know, from my own trading perspective, this month's been really, really good. Just taking one day at a time. I've had to size down this month just because, as I said, I've been on the road, but I think it's been pretty good. And, you know, just having a look at your stats as well in terms of your reports. If you look at the symbols that I'm trading, NASDAQ has been my best performer. I'm not really trading ES too great. So US 500 being ES, but you can have a look. NASDAQ, the Dow, and the DAX has been pretty good to me. So, I'm going to keep focused, keep trading one good day at a time. And we'll go from there. Any last questions or that before I get off? And then I'll be actually live again with Zach on ASFX TV in the next couple minutes. So, appreciate your guys' time. And let's have a good end to the week tomorrow. So here's the competition account for them. Go check it out. I'll put it in the chat one more time. And then go follow me on social media as well. All right. Go follow me on social media as well. I've shown you what my best trades look like. And I'll probably do a YouTube video recap of my trading month this month as well for February, maybe over the weekend. DAX is still sitting up here. I would be surprised if we hold higher into tomorrow. Depends on what ES and NQ does. Let's have a look at news for the rest of the week as well. So let's go to news. We do have core PPI tomorrow for the USD. And the video earnings was obviously yesterday after the close. And then next week is right into non-farm payroll. So keep that in mind with the news tomorrow. Pre-market 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That would be 3:30 p.m. South African time. But have a good rest of the trading session. And we'll see you guys all there. Cheers, guys. Have a good rest of the day.